I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.
I keep getting this video, and people keep asking me for my opinion. Really good friend of mine shared this video, and he was swearing up and down that this is racist. I don't know when the definition of what racist is. I don't know what it is anymore. So let's look it up, actually, shall we? What is racist? Let's see what ChatGPT says. Racist means a few different things. A person or idea is called racist when it assumes that some races are inherently superior or inferior to others. This often involves judging people's worth, intelligence, or behavior mainly based on skin color, ethnicity, or ancestry. Actions or behavior. An action can be racist if it treats people unfairly or unequally because of their race, includes refusing someone a job or opportunity. So the first one seems like it's up to interpretation. A person can be called racist. It assumes some races are inherently superior. But when I'm noticing these people that are talking, they've never called themselves supreme. It's usually the people that are calling you racist. They're saying you're a white supremacist, for example. But for you to call another person supreme, in the same breath, you do understand you're saying that you have an inferiority complex. There's no way I can call you supreme above me unless I'm admitting that I am inferior and below you. So that's a big issue that I take with a lot of this and why it doesn't make any sense to me. So one of my good friends sent me this video, and I told him I absolutely agree with Charlie Kirk. I don't even understand how this can even be up for question. DEI literally opened up the floodgates for people to finally realize that something is wrong. The fact that you wanted to hire people based on their appearance over their skills and their merit scares the fuck out of me. It wasn't really a thing until in recent history. If myself personally, all of a sudden, my pilot gets on the mic and says, "Hey, yo, check this out. Yo, this is Tyrone Johnson. I'm going to be your pilot today. I'm exiting the fucking plane and I'm going to the closest Greyhound station. I'm not risking it. To make you feel better, I'm supposed to put me and my family's lives on the line just because you're insecure about your appearance and you want me to accept that you probably are there because of your name and how you look and not because of your skills." I understand what's going on. They've lowered the standards. That's diversity, equity, inclusion. That means they have a certain number of people that they want to show is diverse. If you want to show me that you have a diverse cleaning team in a hotel, I don't really give a fuck, but go for it. Do you have a different person that's going to make my bed from a different country? As long as my bed's made, I don't really care. When you're talking about doing surgery on me, I'm worried about, are you the best? I'm not worried about how many boxes or where you stick your dick at night or what color your parents were and how you look. None of that. None of that matters to me. And I was trying to explain this to my good friend earlier. Amazing guy, great guy. I've known him for years. And I tried to tell him, I said, bro, I've known you to do a lot. You're a gifted actor. You're a fighter. You do a lot of different things. I've always known you to be the best at what you're doing, the best man. I've never once said you're the best black man I've ever seen do a skit, or you're the best black man I ever see do this. You're just the best man in general. You don't need the black moniker. It's not to say you're black whenever you do something. It's kind of like saying I overcame a disability. It's like, hey, look, I can drive, but I don't have arms. I was born with no arms and no legs, but look, I can magically drive a car. Okay, cool. That's a big deal. Adding that you're black in front of this is like you're telling me, hey, I got over being black, like it's autism or it's some kind of mental disability. And I'm like, why do you keep throwing that around? And I'm trying to make that point to him. And he's like, oh, you got these talking points like from the SS. And I was like, well, is that even an insult in 2025? I thought we were all free Palestine, right? Because if you think about it, the Nazis were free Palestine before it was cool. You know, back before it was a big deal, before you could get points, they were already just ahead of the curve if you think about it. But it's crazy to me because I've always known him to be a man of logic and intellect. Unfortunately, when it comes to insecurity about your appearance and your inferiority complex, when you compare yourself to people who you feel are above you, it really does overshadow and it kind of turns your brain off. So your logic goes out the window, rationale goes out the window, and it's kind of like you revert back to a where you're just living off of instinct. You're not really coherently processing or thinking about things, or me telling you I want a pilot that's going to prioritize safety first over diversity, that would make perfect sense to you. Unless your brain turns off because you're worried about race or your skin color or your inferiority to some people you feel are above you. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm trying to look at this video from a black person's perspective. If you feel these people are supreme, 4 white males on a panel talking just casually, it intimidates you. It scares you. You don't know why, but it does. And people don't understand that. They're the issues with the black community. If you're a white person at all, everything you say, everything you breathe is racist. You can't mention or do anything without them saying, oh, this is racist. It's a mental disorder. It's something that they really can't correct. They're not going to be able to correct. It was bred into them. Their parents said the stuff to them and reinforced it. A lot of them went to HBCUs. They've only been around black people their whole life. So when they see you as a white person, they see you as superior. They see you as thinking. They try to read your mind. Oh, these white people think you don't even know anybody white and you're not a psychic. How are you going to tell me what white people think? You don't even know what you think. Those black dudes that came and killed your cousin a couple years ago, why couldn't you read their minds? You guys were all in the same bar. You didn't know they were about to start shooting in about 5 minutes and was going to rob you? But you didn't know that, but you know with these random white people you never met, you know what they're thinking, but you don't know what nobody black is thinking who's around you. You know, what an odd stance to take. So I'll let you play the video and you decide for yourself.
I get on an airplane, I want my pilot to be like, hi, this is Chad. Maybe like a little bit of a Southern accent.
Chad Buckworth here.
No, Chad.
Blake is fine.
This is my 31,000th hour. I'm kind of bored, honestly.
Yeah, I could do this in my
Charles,
sleep. But
exactly. I want just like cookie cutter, like
pilot.
Yeah, this is so easy to me. I don't want LaQuisha James.
They have that like
comes up,
pilot voice,
and she's just like, "Hi, ladies and gentlemen, pray for me."
And the truth is it's just this is a creation that the left wanted because
and they
this is a creation the left wanted. Absolutely correct. For one thing, he's thinking about Letitia James also, that raggedy monstrosity that was going after the president and now is being reversed back on her because she was used by the World Economic Forum and the Democrats to do something that was unethical, illogical, but you can't shame the shameless. They go after certain people easily corruptible. And because you can't really shame these people because in their culture, there's no such thing as accountability. So you can't make them, they're not worried about reputation. They're not worried about how they look. They don't worry about their image. They don't care. So there's no coincidence that Alvin Bragg, Letitia James, Fannie Willis, you don't notice a pattern. I guess pattern recognition is racist too, right? Because you notice, how is it 13% of the population, 99% of the people that were the prosecutors going, it's just, but you don't want to talk about that. You just want to, but that's racist. Mentioning the word, just saying the word black is racist. If you read something in Spanish and it says negro and you're a white person, that's racist. These people are insane. There is no negotiating with them. I literally just have these debates online because it's like practice. You know, you want to make sure you're sharp. You want to know how to have rebuttals if anybody comes at you. So I do it for practice, but I don't think I'm getting anywhere. I don't think there's going to be an aha moment with any of these people. Second thing is, he's absolutely correct. I want a cookie cutter pilot, a pilot that's going to be just a regular guy who knows what the fuck he's doing, and safety is his priority. He was put there because of his skills and his merit, not because he had to meet a diversity quota. I always tell people, in my opinion, from what I can tell, diversity is a weakness, which is why the NBA is not diverse, which is why the NFL is not diverse, which is why they only put diversity in places that they want to see buckle. I'll explain. There are certain companies that they purposely force diversity quotas on and DEI. And what they did was they would threaten those companies that they would lose funding. See, a lot of people don't understand. A lot of the banks were taken over by the IMF and World Economic Forum. Then they did something called it's above DEI, and it was diversity, equity, inclusion is DEI. The other one, let's see here. I forgot the term for it actually. What is above DEI? And this is what the banks were using. This is what lenders were using. It is, what else was it called? I forgot that bank's version of DEI. Let's see here. I don't know how I'm drawing a blank. The bank's version. No, it's not that. It's something else. It's not DOI. It's, what is it called? It's basically a form of critical race theory, but it was so that you would have a quota on how many different people, how diverse your pool of employees are, but also it had your environment score, and it was all these other weird things that were innocuous that you would think should not matter about anything, and it's been done away with. But on a lower level was DEI underneath it. And what they would do is they would force you to enact these policies, or they would now be in control of your funding when you're going for loans and you're applying for things. They would check it's a score that they would generate. And it's not a DEI score. It was called I forgot what the score. This is D. It's like oh no. It's called a scoring system. What the hell is it called? It's another scoring system. ESG, Environmental Social Governance Score. That's what it was called. So for individuals, it's DEI. But for people, it's DEI. For the companies, it was ESG, Environmental Social Governance. And they gave you a score. And based on your score is how you would qualify now to get loans. No longer was it going to be based on your credit, your payment history, how much money you have in the bank, and back and forth. If you were a company, it was now your ESG score was going to come into play. And that's what made these banks and these people get on their knees and start implementing these DEI programs. It was forced. And I don't like anything forced. It means I don't have a choice. So it's not like I'm doing this out of kindness of my heart. I'm doing this because I don't have a choice. And I don't think force is fair. I think that's un-American. Right now, forcing someone to implement these standards or threaten to take away their money you're not going to get the best results because you're worried about funding. You're not worried about what's going to be best for the consumer, what's safe for the consumer, how to keep them, basically keep them alive. Hiring people based on their identity and not based on their skills is fail. I'd prefer a master of aviation, not a diverse cockpit. I don't give a shit who's bringing me my peanuts. I care about if they know what they're doing in case of an emergency. Can they take off and can they land? I don't care about the diversity. And then you saw all the issues we started having with the control towers and the aviation, and it was all ESG. People who didn't want to work, people who shouldn't have been there. It was a shit show, and I'm glad that we're getting past that.
I think you can't say anything about it because they'll call you a racist. And this is where we really have to take the gloves off and say your name calling will not get in the way of people's safety at 35,000
like,
feet.
I get on an airplane.
Exactly. We're not going to let you shame us into putting our lives at risk at 35,000 feet. It doesn't make sense. Just because he mentions somebody's black, that's not racist. Racist is when you are not allowed to do something based on your race. No one's restricting you from doing anything. These are 4 people that you've never met. This is their opinion. Newsflash, nobody has to like you. Nobody has to acknowledge you. Nobody has to believe in you. No one has to cater to you. No one has to kiss your ass. No one has to like your people. No one has to date you if they don't want to date people that look like you. Nobody has to do anything. Saying that it's racist when it's somebody's personal choice, it's ridiculous. Nobody has to want to work with you. People now are having a choice. Eventually, they're going to have to do away with the whole Civil Rights Act because that was forcing people to live around each other that culturally they do not mix. Ever since integration, it's been failed. There's never been any point where integration has been a positive thing or has done or yielded any good results. The separation was necessary. Our forefathers, our ancestors, they knew what they were doing. Culturally, we do not mix. And now that we've actually mixed with each other, the others they literally hate everything about white people. And you got to think about it. Like I said, they put people in these positions to literally sabotage these companies. Look at what happened with Budweiser. Look at what happened with any other country. They implement these diverse people. They put them in there. These diverse people hate the company. They hate white people in general. They think all the owners are white. They want to crash your company. So what do? They come up with nonsense campaigns, screwed up policies. Your market share goes down. And even if they lose their job and lose money, they're happy because in their mind, the white community is suffering. These people are so mentally ill and deranged, they would literally crash a plane that they were flying just because the majority of the passengers were white. These people live to torment, and their goal is to harm white people. I'm looking at the Carmelo Anthony situation. They praise that kid because he killed a white kid. That's it. If Carmelo had killed another guy named Carmelo, nobody would have batted an eye. He wouldn't have gotten a penny on GoFundMe. But they're happy because he did their dirty work. The girl the girl from the Ukraine, they celebrate that man for what he did to her. They're not saying he was wrong or he's evil. They're not calling him a monster. They're happy. And these are the people that you're trying to force me to accept are going to be flying my airplanes, working in the office when I'm having surgery and I'm basically where my guard is down and I'm the most vulnerable. People who hate our guts. And when I say us, I mean conservatives, Republicans, people that Trump support, people that hate us with their core. And they can't even explain to you why. You've never done anything to them. We've never met, but they hate you because of your beliefs. and you think that it'd be a good idea to leave your children with them, to let them ride behind you in an Uber, to let them sit behind you on a train or on a bus, you're insane. But if you've been shamed into letting your guard down and brainwashed into believing that pattern recognition is racist, well, then you're just a sitting duck waiting for them to come get you. I don't care how much you pander as a white person, and I don't care how many TikTok dances you learn and how funny you are and how nice you are. They're still going to see you as a white person that they want to hurt. There is no middle ground. You can pander all you want. You can say it doesn't matter. These a lot of the people these people are racist and they're angry about nothing. They're monsters. They're insane. And I say this to people, and I'm like, and they look at me funny. I'm like, you guys act like you've never met somebody from that community. If you scratch the surface and you start talking to them for a second, immediately, just like with my friend, the logic goes out the window. It goes back to like a mind of somebody who is just they can't think properly. It's not about rationale. It's not about what's best. It's just anger and hatred. They bring up slavery, and they were never individual. They were never personally slaves. They bring up hundreds of years ago, and they speak as if they were tied up and chained. And these are the same people you want flying planes, people with that kind of mental disease. You want them doing surgery. You want them babysitting kids and driving school buses. You're crazy. You're crazy. I absolutely do not have not one thing Charlie Kirk said was wrong. And it's not racist. Nothing he said was restricting you from doing anything. It's his opinion. My question is, why the fuck does his opinion matter so much to you? Why does it hold so much weight? Why do you care so much about what Charlie Kirk says? You never met him before. You don't even know him. Why do you care? You care because he's white and you feel inferior to him. That's it. If Charlie Kirk was anybody else, you wouldn't give a shit what he says. But because he's white and he's passed away, now you have all types of smoke for him and you want to say all these things, but you wouldn't have said these things when he was alive because he would have destroyed you in a debate. It wouldn't have even been an argument. So you wait until he passed and he's not here. So I tell people, I'm here. I'll say the exact same thing as Charlie Kirk. He's gone. Why are you still addressing him? I'm alive. So direct it towards me and let's, give me that same energy. This whole fake racist bullshit is really just to kind of divert your attention from realizing that competency saves lives. I want the most competent person flying the plane, doing my surgery, prescribing me medicine. I need the most competent person, not the most diverse. I don't need a transsexual, lesbian, black from Tonga. What do I care about any of that? None of that matters. Are you the best at what you're doing? Did they have to lower the testing scores for you to qualify because they wanted to push you through because there's an equity quota? That won't work.
I want my pilot to be like, "Hi, this is Chad." Maybe like a little bit of a southern accent.
Chad Buckworth here.
No, Chad.
Blake is fine.
This is my 31,000th hour. I'm kind of bored, honestly.
Yeah, I could do this in my
Charles,
sleep, but
Exactly. I want just like cookie cutter, like
pilot.
yeah. This is so easy to me. I don't want LaQuisha James.
They have
who
that like
comes up
pilot voice.
and she's just like, "Hi, ladies and gentlemen, pray for me."
And the truth is it's just this is a creation that the left wanted because
and they think you can't say anything about it because they'll call you a racist. And this is where we really have to take the gloves off and say your name calling will not get in the way of people's safety at 35,000 feet.
I 1000% agree with everything he said. Nothing he said was wrong at all. Once you remove your emotions and you're able to think clearly for yourself, you'll understand that. As long as you're an emotional person, once that feminine takes over that part of your brain where you can't think for yourself, you're screwed. you're screwed, and you're going to end up in certain situations because you're literally not living by logic. It's a shame, but nothing about that was racist. The only thing that's triggering you and hurting your feelings is you're insecure about your appearance and you feel inferior to these men, so you're hurt. That's why they keep saying, we want inclusion. You want to be included in what? You want to be around white people. You want them to hug you and tell you you're a good boy. You want them to tell you that you're brilliant, and you just want validation from white people. Like that's, and it's crazy. You guys are fans of white people so much that you become fanatics. you love these people so much that you hate them. So that's going to be a problem.
On an airplane, I want my pilot to be like, "Hi, this is Chad." Maybe like a little bit of a southern
Chad
accent.
Buckworth here.
No, Chad.
Blake is
Exactly.
fine.
This is my 31,000th hour. I'm kind of bored, honestly.
Yeah, I could do this in my
Charles,
sleep. But
Exactly.
I
I want just like cookie cutter, like
pilot.
yeah. This is so easy to me. I don't want LaQuisha James.
They have
who
that like
comes up
pilot voice.
and she's just like, "Hi, ladies and gentlemen, pray for me."
And the truth is it's just this is a creation that the left wanted because
and they think
I keep playing the video over and over because there's nothing racist about somebody's opinion. Because the name LaQuisha, you think that name sounds ghetto. That's why you think it's racist, but you're racist. He's an American. We have free speech. Culturally, black people don't believe in the black community that are calling everything racist. They're totalitarian. They don't believe in property rights, which is why they love squatters and they celebrate squatters. They don't believe in the First Amendment. That's why they're always trying to cancel you for saying something. They don't believe in the Second Amendment because when they're stealing from you or committing crimes, they don't want you to euthanize them on the spot. So they don't want you to have guns. They want you to have everything down. They believe in mob rule. It's a totalitarian system. They don't believe in the Constitution. Or even if they don't like my speech, they'd be willing to die to protect the right that I have to say it. But they never say that. You know what they say? Cancel him. Find out where he lives, dox him. These people are insane. And you want to put one of them in an airplane pilot seat where the manifest is 97% white, think that they are going to really care about the safety of the passengers. You guys have really lost the plot if you think that's the case. I'm just, like I said, I'm just being brutally honest about what's going on. You can believe it or not. Look, when you don't like something, you threaten it. They don't want to have an open debate. They don't want to have discourse. All these things we can talk about. If I'm wrong, prove it. Prove me wrong. Talk to me about it. They don't want to have this conversation. They can't. It's easier for them to just say, this is racist. My feelings are hurt. Give me money. Let me see if I can sue you. Maybe I can shame. It's all just a bunch of scams and hustles and grifts. I'm just not going to be a willing participant. I really do adore my friends, and I wish they could just snap out of it. People talking that are white is not racist. The only kind of white people they like are gay ones. If you're gay, they love you. They think you're the best thing since sliced bread. If you're a straight white man, you're public enemy number one. It's just crazy how the media and manipulation can just brainwash people for generations. And these men are just talking. I don't think they're any none the wiser. Jack Posobiec. I mean, they really do think the best of Americans altogether. They don't really care about race. They should. They should. These are the same people that hate you, the people that hate Trump, and they don't know why. They make up lies. Oh, Trump did this. Well, what did he do? Well, I can't think of it right now. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And you want to put somebody like that in charge of my company. You want this company. And what do you think is going to happen to that company? It's going to fold. Another one bites the dust because you're hiring based on diversity and not based on merit. The country didn't get to where it was at based on diversity. It got to where it's at based on skills, merit, tenacity, and pride. These people don't give a damn about the country. They have no pride in the country. They hate the flag. They hate the Constitution. They hate the founders. They hate the forefathers. And they just talk about slavery. That's it. Slavery that they don't even know exists. They don't even know if that really even happened. They make up these stories about bondage. A lot of it's homoerotic stuff from people that are making up stories about buck breaking and being tied up and being sexually. None of them were there to witness none of this. It's not even journaled anywhere. People just make it up. And the fact that I call it out and say that's all fake, right? You know that's not real. Even Alex Haley said it was fake. The man who told you were Africans, he said it was fake. You still talk about it because it's just something that's ingrained in you. You want to believe it. I mean, maybe that's why maybe the community merged with the gay community. They really like them stories about buck breaking. Thinking about your great granddaddy getting his buck broke. If that's what you want to tell yourself happened to your great granddaddy, man, look, that's who am I? Who am I to tell you your great granddaddy didn't get his buck broke? You know, maybe he did. That has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk and these four guys talking about, I don't want a DEI hire in the cockpit. Now, whenever I see all black anything, I gotta wonder if this is about diversity or is this about, or they here for skill? Did all these highly skilled people just happen to be black? Or was this a diversity quota so they can get some good optics and some good pictures and try to get a little bit of fanfare with Democrats? Like, because this DEI, I don't know. You think Charlie Kirk don't know? I don't know either. I can't say that it's not the case. Now I have to doubt everything. And like I said, if it's something low level, I don't care. You can be diverse you want to. But when it comes to something that involves me or the safety of my family, all bets are off. Give me a cookie cutter person that's going to be all about the merit. I'm not even risking it. Diversity is a weakness, in my opinion. Share the video. If you have any comments, I'm on 7 different platforms. You're more than welcome to leave it. We can talk about it, whether you agree or not. I want to hear your thoughts. I'm equal opportunity when it comes to this. I'm not going to ignore you. We can speak. Charlie's not here anymore, but I am. I'll take that same energy because I can defend myself. I can literally defend myself. So I can speak back. He can't. So talk to me. Share the video, like and subscribe. See you shortly.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.